Hey guys, so I haven't done a book related video in a really long time, so that's why I have my books in my background. I actually just recently went through my entire collection and redid everything. So if you want me to go through my bookcase, then let me know in a comment down below or by liking this video. Today I'm going to be doing a tag called the Unpopular Opinions book tag, and this was created by the Book Archer, and I will leave her video down below. I just recently binge watched so many people's unpopular opinion book tags, and I was like, I have to do this tag because I have so many unpopular opinions. I am like the queen of unpopular opinions. Like, if you know me, you know that I almost dislike every single thing that everyone else really likes. It's very hard for me. I don't know why. I don't actively do this, but I have a lot of unpopular opinions. So let's get started. Okay, so the first question is a popular book series that you didn't like. And for this one, I don't have the book with me for a lot of reasons, but I would have to go with The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. And I just want to, give a disclaimer that I read 2.5 of those books. I read the first 2 and then half of the third one, I think. Or I read 3.5. I can't remember. I read those books, and I don't say that I completely hate them or that I completely dislike them, because that's not true. But I really just did not like Clary, and that was the biggest reason as to why I didn't like the books. You know, her being a main character, she's in the books a lot, so I just did not like her, and I have so many reasons for not liking her, and I don't want to go into all of them, and I know that she's a character that people like, but aside from that, I really didn't connect with the story enough. I liked it, but it wasn't something that I felt like I had to get into, that I had to continue, that, it just wasn't a book series for me. So, and I get the hype around it because I love the idea. I just don't think the way that she wrote the book was all that great. But, I'm getting into the TV show, so who knows? Maybe I'll really like it. The next question is a popular book or series that everyone else didn't like, but that you liked. And I have a really great answer for this question because it's definitely the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi. I freaking love this series so much. I don't have it with me because I rented it from the library when I read it, but I started reading Shatter Me and I just really didn't like it the first time around. I thought the writing was really weird and I just didn't get it. And then I put it down and kind of came back to it maybe a few months later, and I absolutely freaking loved that book. And I binge read these books so fast. And then I finally got to Ignite Me, which I got, I think, maybe the first or second week that it came out. And I was so happy, and I love the way that these books ended. I don't want to spoil anything, but just everything that I wanted to happen happened, and I don't get that a lot in books, so this was definitely a winner for me. Okay, so the third question is a love triangle where the person ended up with someone that you didn't want them to end up with, or an OTP that you don't like. And I have some opinions, because I'm talking about the Delirium series by Lauren Oliver. I actually don't think that that's what the series is called. I think it's I don't remember. I did not like these books at all. The only book that I liked, and you might know why based on the OTP that I'm gonna say, was Pandemonium. And I don't remember the names of these characters. I think it's Lena and, gosh, there's the guy. I can't remember his name. I knew it for so long because I was so obsessed. Oh, Lena and Julian. Okay, Lena and Julian from Pandemonium were my OTP. I loved them. I'm this is what's gonna save this trilogy. We're not gonna have to listen to the other guy, I think his name was Alex, anytime longer. I did not want to listen to him. I thought he was the worst character. I hated just his personality and everything about him. And so I was pumped after reading Pandemonium. I was like, yes, Julian and Lena, like I even have edits on my old Tumblr of like Julian and Lena stuff, and I loved them. And then, spoiler, if you haven't somehow read the Delirium series by Lauren Oliver, they don't end up together. So that was heartbreaking. I was so angry reading Requiem. I felt so betrayed. I was so angry. I was like, this was a waste of my time. Why did I read this? And I kind of do look back on those books with a little bit of like, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but at the same time, my OTP, it didn't work out, and I'm really sad, and I think it should have. I think it was very out of character that Lena ended up with Alex. I think that's his name. I hope that's his name. That Lena ended up with him, and I think she really should have ended up with Julian, but that's just my opinion. Question 4 is a popular book genre that you hardly reach for, and this is going to be a very short answer, and I think it would definitely be paranormal. I kind of have a very wide range of books I like to read, but I don't ever really reach for anything horror or paranormal or anything like that, which is so weird because I love horror and I love paranormal stuff. So maybe I should try and get into that genre a little bit more. I just never find any books that I'm like, oh, that sounds really interesting, you know? That might be a good one to read. It just doesn't happen very often. Okay, question number 5. A popular or beloved character that you don't like. And I think I'm gonna have to go with Peter from P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. I loved Peter in the first book, obviously, To All the Boys I Loved Before. I loved him in that book. I thought he was so sweet, and I loved him, and I was rooting for him. And then I read this book, and my opinion about him changed very quickly, because I think he's a huge jerk, and I think he's so mean to Laura Jean, and I just don't like him at all. I think he's so mean, and just everything about what he did in this book angers me so much. I was just like, he kind of sounded a bit fuckboyish. Like, he wasn't the Peter from the first book. Like, maybe he was, but it's just like, he turned into kind of an asshole, so. The 6th question is a popular author that you can't seem to get into. And I think for this one, it's definitely going to have to go to John Green. I read The Fault in Our Stars, and I loved it. I loved it so much. I cried. I went through all the emotions that everyone goes through when reading The Fault in Our Stars. And then I tried to read Paper Towns, I think, and I could not get into it. It was so hard. I think I got through like the first like 30 something pages, and I just couldn't do it. It was just so hard. And then I tried to read Looking for Alaska, and the same thing happened. And I just kind of gave up because I'm just like, I don't like any of his other books. Like, I think The Fault in Our Stars was the only one. John Green, I just can't read his books. I like him as a guy. I love The Fault in Our Stars. Can't read his books. Question 7. A popular book trope that you don't like. And I have a lot of opinions about this, and I think I want to make an entire video about book tropes, but I would have to say that my #1 least favorite book trope is the dark-faced aggressor, and that is just something that makes me so angry sometimes, because there are some books that I've read where it's kind of like the author's trying to be edgy and do like a reverse like racial slavery thing where like the brown faces are, you know, subjugating the white faces, and like it's just it's not edgy, it's not interesting, it's not cool or different or weird. Just stop doing it. I'm just so tired of that. It's just like I get that you're trying to make this commentary on racism, but it's not working, and it just makes you look awful. It's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. Stop. Number 8, a popular book series that you have no interest in reading, and this is going to, it might make me lose some friends. Okay, maybe not really, but it's definitely an opinion that I've held for a long time, and some of my friends know about it, some of them don't know about it. I kind of try and keep it on the down low, because I know that people love the series with all their hearts, and I totally get it, because I love some series with all my heart the way that they do. So without further ado, it is definitely the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I love the movies. I grew up watching the movies and being in love with them, and I remember distinctly in 3rd grade, I went to the little library inside of our classroom, picked up Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, tried reading it, and thought to myself, this is a load of crap, and went back to reading my Laura Ingalls Wilder. Which is just, it's so dumb. But I tried to reread it a few years ago when I got it for a Christmas present from my best friend Tiffany. And I had just gotten done reading a few Percy Jackson books, and oh my god, I love Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson's my favorite thing in the world. It's so funny. Rick Riordan is just a genius. He is a freaking genius. But then I went on to read, or at least attempt to read, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone again as an adult, and I just found that it was very, very pretentious. I could not take it seriously because it took itself way too seriously. And I think it might have been because I had just gotten done reading Rick Riordan, who is extremely comical. It does not take himself that seriously, but the content is still serious in a way. It still takes itself seriously, but not to a point where it's pretentious or talking down to the reader. And I've always felt that Harry Potter is kind of more of a middle grade book, especially the first Sorcerer's Stone is definitely more of a middle grade book because it deals with middle grade children. And so I just didn't understand why it was so pretentious, why it was trying to talk down to the reader, and it was just, it was too much. It turned me off of it, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can go and read it. I do want to try and get back into it, see if I have the same opinion, but I don't really know. I don't think I'm gonna read Harry Potter ever, but I will enjoy the movies, and I will definitely be a proud Ravenclaw, and there you go. Okay, the last question, question number 9. The saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what movie is better than the book? And this one, I'm going to have to go with Little Women, because I grew up on the movies. I think I've seen like every version of Little Women that you could possibly imagine. And I've read this book and I absolutely love it. Oh my freaking gosh, I love this book. It's so sweet, it's so beautiful, it makes me cry, it's gorgeous. But I think the movies are just so much more nostalgic to me because that's what I grew up on. And I love the musical, so I think just those forms of the media from Little Women are just, they make this story shine, and I love it. And I will always love this book, and I think it's a beautiful book, but I definitely personally love the movies more. Is the book better than the movies? Probably, but I like the movies a little bit more, so that's just, you know, that's how my brain works. Alright, so that was the video, and let me know in the comments what your unpopular bookish opinions are, because I would love to hear them. I love hearing unpopular opinions. And if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every Sunday, and I will see you guys next Sunday. Bye!